Today is a new opportunity to accomplish your incredible. So let's wake up each day with a fresh mindset necessary for you to win. I welcome you to Rise and Shine. Morning motivation for the girl boss with author, speaker, and founder of the Prestige Society, Nicole Doss. Let's jumpstart your morning now. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh my goodness, I feel like my head cold is getting the best of me. So I'm sorry that I sound so stuffed up, but I actually feel great. I just sound horrible. So, good morning and welcome to another episode of Rise and Shine. I am so excited that you have decided to tune in today. I am so thankful for all of your support, and I am just so happy that you dedicate these minutes in the morning that are created just for you. I am so happy that you take the time in the morning to help shift your mindset and preparing you for the day so that you are focused on really helping to build your business and allowing it to be better and allowing you to be a better CEO and business owner. Today is a brand new day that I want you to understand that this is your opportunity to operate another day in your purpose. I'm not quite sure where you are in your business. I'm not quite sure if you have a new idea. I don't know if you're starting on a new venture. I don't know if you're trying to make that thing work that you're just so passionate about, but you can't understand why people aren't buying. Whatever you are experiencing and wherever you are in your journey, I want you to know it's okay. I want you to know that you are where you are right now for a reason, and that if you're open and awake and aware, you will get the lessons necessary for you to be able to win this year. So let's get started with our word for the day. So our word for the day is none other than openness. I know, but open. Let me tell you something. I'm sorry as I'm moving around here and making noise, but I gotta tell you, this year has been a very calming year for me so far. I usually go into the new year with a high octane of emotion. So maybe, I think 2017, I just was like, it's a hot mess new year. I wrote a blog on it. I did a podcast on it. I just felt like I had to help people navigate through this hot mess new year. Part of it probably was on the heels of Trump being elected as our president. But going into 2017, I just felt like everyone was really not feeling great about the year that was to come. By 2018, I was on a high. I was just meeting awesome people left and right. I was just being a part of really awesome experiences. And that gave me this, completely opposite feeling on the spectrum of emotion. And so instead of feeling like, oh my gosh, it's a complete hot mess, I felt like, oh my gosh, this is my year. I am meeting awesome people. So after having a really great 2018, 2019 just gave me this sense of calm, like just this sense of this is what you're supposed to do, stick with it, and just stay the course and learn the lessons along the way. So I've been dedicating myself to being open. And as I even went through the day today, I realized that openness is something that a lot of girl bosses are not willing to experience. I don't know if it's because of the fact that being open requires vulnerability and it requires transparency, and they may not like what is the outcome of that. So if maybe you don't feel so great about your business, maybe if there's some spaces of your business where you feel insecure, being open and having that transparency and that vulnerability may not be what you are aiming for, but nonetheless, it is something you should try to do. One is because when we talk about being open, open allows you to be able to take in, drink in new ideas without any fear of failure. I'm in this space now where I feel like everything that happens, if I continue to pray for discernment, if I continue to pray for purpose, if I continue to ask God to order my steps, I'm really in a space where I just feel like, whatever happens, happens for a reason. And as long as my intention and my actions are aligned, I have no regrets. So if something is aligned to what my expectations are, if some things are not aligned with my expectations, the reality is there's something that needs to either be celebrated or learned. So I don't want to go into anything fearful if God presents to me a really, great idea. And let me tell you, Elaine introduced this whole thing around a God idea, and I'm like so loving it. Like, thank you, Elaine Gonzalez, for that. So, when I think about, the God ideas that I've been having, if they fail or if they succeed, I really don't care. There's a reason why it was placed into my spirit. There's a reason why I'm supposed to focus on these things, and going through the process and seeing them through is just part of the journey. And my only responsibility is to see it through. Like, that's what I am dedicating myself to. Being open to those new ideas without fear. That's huge. And let me tell you what came out of that. Being open to new ideas really actually led me to old ideas, which was, it's okay to open back up some of our membership packages to help with other women who may not be able to afford our signature course. Like, it's okay. And now I'm okay with saying that's okay. And, however it fares with our membership drive, it doesn't matter. My purpose is to teach. My purpose is to let women entrepreneurs know that Prestige is here to support them. That's what I'm dedicated to, letting the girl boss know that she has support. So I can introduce this idea of, okay, let's bring back our memberships just for, certain periods of time, without fear of what people may think or say or join or not join. Like, I can't allow that to be something that stops me. Another great idea that I had was, working with Elaine last year. I started looking at this academy planner that I had created in 2016, and I was looking at her planner, and we used the same publisher at the time before she had moved to her spiral bound planners. And I was like, you know what? When I really didn't do well with that academy planner in 2016, I gave up and just figured, oh, planners weren't for me. And then I tried it again for those who were part of the Boss Academy. And I was like, you know what? I want something that's a little bit smaller, something that people can fit in their purses. And I found a publisher that does really well with hardcover, and I created the little black book for slaying goals. And I was able to execute on that without a problem. I then said, oh, let me create one for social media content, because I saw that the books were like small, that you could fit two in your tote and be fine. So if you need to have a planner to map out your content, great. And if you need a planner just so that you can slay your everyday goals, awesome, you have that too. But those are ideas that I'm open to that allowed me to move into execution, that now they're published pieces of work. That for me is beyond amazing. Not to mention, I wrote a book called Tribe where I teach women to build their own membership organization so that they can begin to build monthly sustainable income. And I decided that I wanted to create a workbook as well. And literally going through the book and falling back in love with the content and really making sure that points are connecting for the reader, I just realized, like, wow, I've been open to these ideas and working on these ideas where if I just was caught in my own mind, if I was caught in what I thought people would think about the endeavor, if I was caught up in insecurity, if I was caught up in self-doubt, if I was caught up in the work is too hard, if I was caught up in I don't think anyone's going to buy, I don't think anyone's going to join, I would never be successful in putting out tools and resources for the girl boss. Because the reality is, even if it's not a million people who are watching, there's one person I can help. And for me, that's me doing my job. So being open allows me the courage to explore new ideas, but also it allows me the courage of trying new experiences. So, one of the experiences I really have to say would be going through this 21-day challenge with Elaine Johnson. So, I really know that sometimes I can't commit to certain things just because I have like not real ADD. It's like self-proclaimed ADD. So like I have sitcom ADD where I can't like watch a whole entire season without like if it's not a Netflix binge watch, then I am not going to watch the entire season. Like there's something that happens between that first season or that first episode when I'm completely locked in to like midway through that season that I lose my attention span. And so, because I know that's how I usually function, I didn't really think that I would be able to fully commit to this 21-day challenge. And committing to the 21-day challenge and being open to a new experience of building my relationship with God and really dedicating time to pray and talk and have this dialogue with God has really moved me spiritually that I would have not experienced if it wasn't for that challenge. It has blessed me exponentially, and I have thanked Elaine over and over again for that opportunity of just being able to experience that challenge. But if I allowed me to be a know-it-all about myself and say, no, I'm not going to do that because, I already go to church, I already sing in the choir, I already have a relationship with God, I really don't need it. Or if I were to say like, oh, I really don't. So focusing on new experiences, I believe for you, being open to new experiences are really going to help you in just shifting how you live your life. I just couldn't imagine if I blocked my own blessing because I decided to be a know-it-all about what I think I know about my relationship with God, or what I think I know about myself, or what I think I know I already need. When we think we know it all and we refuse to have that new experience, when we refuse to be open to those new experiences, you're really blocking your blessing. And you have to ask yourself, why are you doing that? And so when I realized that I didn't have a good reason for not joining the 21-day challenge, I went for it and committed to it. And every day I am learning something new. And now, even when I go to church, my whole worship and my whole praise and my whole understanding of the word is completely different than before. I cannot tell you how thankful I am for that new experience and how grateful I am for myself to be open to that experience. Lastly, I want you to be open to new lessons. And I don't know if new lessons is really the right word. So maybe it's just being open to lessons, period. And of course, I always have a story. So here's my story. Um, so I take feedback from people that are in my tribe very seriously because I know that it comes from a space of love. I know it comes from a space of nothing but positive energy. And so I literally like take heed like immediately because I constantly pray for a spirit of discernment. So I know in my gut when something feels like it's coming from a good place versus if it feels like someone's just wanting to take a jab. And I'm so thankful that I've been protected from people who are ill-willed. I've only really received constructive feedback and positive feedback that I knew were to really put me in a good space. Because you can get positive feedback, and that could not be good for you. I mean, somebody could say you're doing great when you know that there's certain things you really need to change about your ways. So I'm thankful that when people give me positive feedback, it's not from a peanut gallery perspective. It's from, I don't know if you guys know what a peanut gallery is, somebody who just says yes to everything. But I realize that when they say something positive, it's because they truly believe that it's good. And then when people give me constructive feedback, one, they deliver it with care, which is very important. And two, I take heed because I realize from reflecting from it, there's a lesson I can apply. So today, Samantha Bunting, who is the founder and CEO of Perimeter Productions, is someone who, I just love, love, love her spirit. I coached her And I'm just telling you, like, she was one of those people, our clients, where I looked forward to our meetings. And she's also a very talented photographer and videographer and has done work for me 2 times, 3 times in the past. And so what was really great today was that she was giving me really great feedback about just really acknowledging that this energy that I have coming into the new year. And she's like, I don't know what it is, but keep doing it. And then she said, but I want to be honest with you about one thing. And she shared that my graphics were a little busy. Here's the thing about being open to lessons. That was for me to listen and apply that lesson to what I do for graphics. Now, if you're not open, then you have to understand that literally all of that positive anabolic energy will turn to catabolic energy immediately. Because immediately, instead of taking ownership for the fact that you should listen to this feedback, go back, look at your graphics and say, oh yeah, a lot of stuff is happening, and realizing why it's busy. I realized it was busy because I was so trying to make sure that everyone gets the message that I didn't realize that if I stayed consistent with my marketing, that I wouldn't have to feel like I have to dump everything into one post or one graphic, right? So once I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, she's so right. Thank you so much. But if I wasn't open to lessons, if I wasn't open to feedback, then literally what would happen is that I would be like, oh, she's hating. Oh, she's just saying that because she doesn't want me to be great. Oh, people say they're happy for you, but they're not really happy for you. And let me tell you, I'm not that person that really says that at all. Like, I don't keep a fake circle of people around me at all. Like, all my people that are around me are really genuine people who do not judge me and my beautiful craziness, right? But the thing is that I hear this from other girl bosses all the time. So I know this is some of the dialogue that they'll have with themselves or their friends whenever there's a lesson that's to be learned. So I really want you guys to start to think about how can you open your mind to new ideas, and not new ideas that you sit on, but new ideas that excite you, that give you a little bit of a butterfly in your stomach where you're almost afraid to take action, but you take action anyway. Be open to new experiences that can completely shift the way you live your life today. And be open to the lessons that are being delivered to you out of love and out of kindness, because they really want you to win, whoever they may be. So with that, I challenge you today to write in your journal, capture on a Post-it note, Mary Jane up a mirror if you want. If you don't know that reference, Google it. But really, like, Mary Jane up a mirror if you want, or just go to old-fashioned journaling and capture really what will it take for you to be able to act on that new idea. What's that new idea that you're going to be open to? What's that new experience you keep shying away from that you want to be open to and just try this year? And what are some of the lessons that you feel like you're avoiding because you really don't want to face the fact that that is truly an area where you need to work and where you need improvement? So with that, guys, I'm going to say, really work on that. Be open to all of these new wonderful things that are laying in front of you for 2019. And I hope that this helps shift the way that you look at your day. So have an awesome, wonderful, and most of all, blessed day. Bye.